through the end of this year, obviously, I think most of the data that you post on Twitter or talk about shows that we're still in a bull market. What's your kind of price thoughts or price predictions for the end of 2021?
Yeah, I think, something I'm watching closely is the Evergrande thing. There's been a lot of talk about that recently on Twitter, but there's potential for there, kind of be some sort of spillover contagion effects with that. But ultimately, the supply dynamics, I mean, I do talk with Will every day, and I'm looking at that same data. It's extremely bullish, like, the most bullish I've ever been. And so, these supply dynamics, it doesn't lie. And a lot of times derivatives will whipsaw price back and forth. But I think ultimately, I'm pretty confident in all-time highs breaking by 2021. And at that point, it's off to the races. Bitcoin trades reflexively. Once all-time highs are broken, or essentially people just stop selling, price gets bid really hard at the margin, and you're going to have a ton of new capital kind of flowing in. There's a lot of talk behind the scenes of big money, buying in this range, and so I think that's only going to kind of pick up from here. And I think once 64K, 65K is broken, it's off to the races. And so, I'm pretty confident in that occurring in 2021. And, depending on how fast a rip to 100K is in the cards. And so price predictions are kind of hard, but, supply dynamics are extremely bullish. And especially if China or, the Fed broadly kind of respond to any sort of credit contagion or, anything happening in the legacy markets, that's just rocket fuel for Bitcoin.
And when you think about this, are you a subscriber to this like super cycle theory that once we break the all-time high, we go up, hundreds of thousands of dollars? Or is it something where maybe Will is in more of the thought process of like $185,000 based on some of the models he's looking at? Like how severe is that reflexivity once we break the all-time highs in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little in both camps. So, I mean, one is like, I'm just going to be looking at the data, but I think there's a real chance, and I don't know if it happens in 2022 or 2024, but at some point, Bitcoin's success is going to just be so obvious, and the narrative is not going to be between, with us just kind of niche, econ nerds or, hardcore Bitcoiners, like libertarian kind of thing. I think that's even shifted recently, but it's going to be, oh my God, the legacy financial world. It's like, I'm sitting on $1 trillion bond tranche and I'm getting a negative yield, right? Like these guys that are basically still locked in, they can't get Bitcoin exposure yet. But if an ETF comes, as it just gets more mainstreamed, intertwined with, the legacy system, companies like NYDIG and all of this, they're going to unlock trillions and trillions of dollars of capital to access the Bitcoin markets. And the most bullish aspect is that when you're looking at a liquid supply, when you're just looking at the free float of this thing that's trading every single day, about 14, 15 million Bitcoin aren't available to be sold. And like people like me, like I don't have a $200,000 price target where I'm selling all my Bitcoin. I'm just like, I might, sell a few basis points or, obviously money's, meant to be spent. But the reality is like my price target for Bitcoin is infinity. Like I don't plan on, I'll spend Bitcoin when it's legal tender and I don't pay taxes on it. And so like, I think that's the reality here. And you're going to have tens of trillions of dollars chasing, a few million Bitcoin. And so, do the math on that. But ultimately, I think at some point over the next 5 to 10 years, maybe, I don't think it gets that far, the dollar price becomes somewhat irrelevant as trust is lost. We've just pushed, they've kicked the can so far. And what happens next time the legacy markets crash? Well, the Fed's used all its ammo, and it's gonna just they're gonna blow the load again, and it's gonna get, I think it's gonna get kind of crazy. So super cycle, not entirely sure. I think naturally there's gonna be boom and busts. 50% drawdowns are here to stay, especially with how over indebted the legacy system is, right? You're gonna see these huge cascades just because of how much debt is in the system. And then how much impairment that causes with the legacy system, fiat money's created through lending, but it's also destroyed through debt default, right? So when that happens, you're going to see just massive drawdowns in equities, real estate, Bitcoin, like that's just where we are in the system. And so they're going to have to reinflate it all. And that's when Bitcoin trades to 7 figures.
I tend to think that you're more right than wrong here. What's up, guys? Bang, bang. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show today. If we're going to be the best business show, we obviously need the best partner. That's why the exclusive sponsor of the Best Business Show is SoFi. They're an all-in-one platform that allows you to invest in all kinds of different assets, including stocks, ETFs, crypto, IPOs, and they even have an automated investing function, if that's your thing. So before we start getting after it again, make sure that you go download SoFi, you get an invest account, and when you make your first crypto trade, regardless of what you buy, they'll give you $10 in Bitcoin for free. It's that simple. Head on over to SoFi.com/pomp to get started today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you come back and watch more of the Best Business Show tomorrow.